Zhou family, Kyoto. Mrs. Zhou, having just completed her postpartum confinement, was leisurely enjoying her bird's nest soup. The little one in the crib slept almost the entire month. A truly easygoing baby. Mrs. Zhou's heart melted as she looked at the child. I stretched with all my might and opened my big eyes, meeting Mrs. Zhou's gaze. After a month, I had accepted the fact that I had transmigrated into a book, and that I was now a baby. Ah. My beautiful mom is so pretty. Mrs. Zhou stiffened. What was that? Was she hallucinating? I need to take a few more glances. Beautiful mom won't live much longer. Mrs. Zhou's hand trembled. What? Not long to live. It's today, the day after my full moon. That dad's female secretary will drug him. And now the car is already headed to the hotel. She will get pregnant and force her way into the family. Beautiful mom will be so angry that she'll drive out. And that nasty secretary will tamper with your car. And you'll die in a car accident. So tragic. Such a pretty face will be left with only half of it. Mrs. Zhou shuddered all over, her head buzzing. She finally understood. She was hearing my thoughts. No matter how the little one knew, this matter must be prevented. Mrs. Zhou got up, handed me to the nanny, and turned to leave. Why is beautiful mom leaving? And in such a hurry? Mom. My dear mom. So sleepy. So sleepy. No. I'll go to sleep first. When I woke up again, both beautiful mom and handsome dad were in the room. Both of their faces were flushed. Beautiful mom even had a hint of shyness. And handsome dad's eyes were glued to her. What's going on? Shouldn't handsome dad be making out with the female secretary at this hour? Why is he home? Handsome dad Zhou Tingshan coughed in surprise. What was that? That sweet little voice. Could it be? His gaze fell on my little face. Mrs. Zhou subtly rolled her eyes at him. The baby's awake. It's time for milk. I gurgled and bubbled. A little baby just can't resist the temptation of milk. Zhou Tingshan secretly tugged at Mrs. Zhou's hand. Wife. I really owe you thanks for getting there in time today. Otherwise I would have been tainted. Mrs. Zhou raised her hand and lightly hit him. I overheard a bit. Beautiful mom saved handsome dad in time. A divine reversal. Great. Truly a beautiful day. Early the next morning, while I was still sound asleep, I heard a sharp cry from downstairs. Mrs. Zhou. It's a misunderstanding. I really didn't drug Mr. Zhou. I perked up my ears to listen to the excitement. Secretary Zhao, if I hadn't gone yesterday, would you still be talking to me like this? Mrs. Zhou's voice rang out. You would be arrogantly yelling at me, even provoking me, making me impulsive, and then killing me, taking the opportunity to move up and abuse my child. Zhao Xiaomi was stunned. I waved my little hands, wanting to applaud. Beautiful mom is mighty. Slap her. Grab her hair. Mrs. Zhou's mouth twitched. She wasn't a shrew, but if she hadn't heard her daughter's thoughts, wouldn't the consequences have been terrible? So, what's wrong with slapping a bitch? Madame Zhou stepped forward and, to Zhao Xiaomi's astonished gaze, slapped her twice across the face. Zhao Xiaomi cried in grievance. Handsome dad was about to come check on me, but he saw me looking excited. Quick, take me to see the excitement. Zhou Tingshan had accepted the fact that he could hear my thoughts yesterday, thinking that I was his little cotton-padded jacket, which was why we had a telepathic connection. Hurry, beautiful mommy is hitting someone. I want to watch. I want to watch. Zhou Tingshan quickly picked me up and hurried downstairs. At this moment, Madame Zhou was beating Zhao Xiaomi wildly, who was fleeing in disarray, covered in dirt. I happily watched beautiful mommy, and a young, handsome man walked in from outside. Looking back as he walked, Mom, was that Zhao's secretary? Who ran out crying just now? the one who schemed against Dad. The young man was my eldest brother. Zhou Qiwei. Isn't that my cheap handsome older brother? Our family genes are really good. My brother is so good-looking. Zhou Qiwei visibly paused, then stepped forward. Dad. Let me hold my little sister. Zhou Qiwei reached out and took me into his arms. I leaned against his solid chest and gently tapped it twice with my little hand. Pity my eldest brother. Still a complete person now. But soon the female lead will use you to steal our family's trade secrets. You'll be sent to a mental hospital, given electric shocks, force-fed medication, locked up with a bunch of lunatics, and end up with broken arms and legs, dying a tragic death. Zhou Qiwei's grip on me loosened, and I stumbled, almost falling to the ground. I burst into tears. Wah. Beautiful mommy quickly stepped forward and took me. Be careful. Of course. She and handsome dad had also heard my thoughts, and their expressions were both very ugly, because I hadn't spoken very clearly. They still didn't know who the female lead was, only that she was someone close to my brother. Handsome dad and beautiful mommy exchanged glances and hurriedly coaxed me, wanting to hear me continue, but I was too tired from crying. Drank my milk, closed my eyes, and fell asleep. Zhou Qiwei looked at me, asleep in my swaddling clothes, and for a moment, felt that he might just be too tired and hallucinating. How could a child say such terrifying things? Zhou Qiwei patted his head. Dad. Mom. I'll go back to my room first. Beautiful mommy said to handsome dad. You heard what our daughter said, right? Handsome dad nodded. I heard. No matter who this female lead is that our little sister is talking about, we need to be careful. In the future, you must keep our family's trade secrets safe and don't let anyone know, including Wei. Handsome dad responded. I know. I'll go arrange it now. Handsome dad backed up all the files in detail as quickly as possible, and the files on his computer were all fake files that he had specially made. After the couple arranged everything, they still felt a little uneasy. So they simply waited together by my bedside. I slept for another 2 hours, and when I woke up again, it was noon. Time for lunch. Beautiful mommy carried me downstairs. Today is a day off. My eldest brother is at home, and my eldest sister is out with friends. I can't sit up by myself yet. I can only lean against my beautiful mom and babble. I'm quite the chatterbox. I keep talking about how delicious this and that is at home, but I can't eat it. And I don't mention the topic from this morning. My beautiful mom is getting anxious. She glances at my handsome dad. Handsome dad pondered for a moment and said to my eldest brother, how's work going? You're in charge of our family's latest project, so you have to be careful. Hearing this, my eldest brother also remembered this morning. He was silent for a moment and looked at me. I finally remembered what I said this morning. Oh my God. How far have the female lead and my eldest brother progressed? Have they slept together yet? Zhou Qiwei's face turned red. What is this little girl thinking? Just then, my eldest brother's phone rang. He answered it. A soft female voice came from the other end of the phone. Qiwei, don't forget we're seeing a movie tonight. A blush immediately spread across my eldest brother's face, and the smile on his lips became a little sweeter. I watched him anxiously pat his little leg with his little hand. Brother, you might be enjoying yourself now, but you'll suffer later. That woman is the female lead, but you're not the male lead. You won't have a good outcome with the female lead. The 3 adults in the Zhou family were stunned. It turned out that the female lead I was talking about was Zhou Qiwei's girlfriend, Wei Xiaoxiao. Wei Xiaoxiao's family background was ordinary. Her parents were farmers, and she got into Kyoto University through her own efforts, becoming a classmate with Zhou Qiwei. After that, the two naturally came together, and then she joined the Zhou family's company, and she did have access to the Zhou family's core secrets. Zhou Qiwei shivered. Beauty is important. And love is important. But if the price is being locked up in a mental hospital, having his hands and feet broken, and being electrocuted, such love. No thanks. My beautiful mom and handsome dad exchanged glances. They both understood, and didn't say anything else. Just quietly finished lunch. In the afternoon, the family of 3 were busy with their own things. And as a newborn, I could only lie in bed and sleep, and suck on my toes when I had time, living a leisurely and carefree life. Just so comfortable. A few days later, my eldest sister Zhou Qimiao, who has whimsical ideas, came home. She is a painter, the kind who is very talented. When she was 15 years old, her works had already been sold across the ocean, and one of her works was collected in the National Art Gallery. As soon as she got home, she rushed to my room, seeing me playing. She smiled with her eyes curved. My sister is really like my beautiful mom. She is really good looking. Looking at her, I couldn't help but feel sad again. My poor sister. You are going on a blind date in a few days. The man you are going to meet is the male lead. He is going to have a flash marriage with you, and you are not the female lead. You will not have a good outcome with the male lead. He'll also deceive you of your body, your heart, and your kidneys, turning you into the female lead's mobile blood bank after you get married. In the end, everything that can be taken from you will be. It's so tragic. My talented sister. Oh my God. I was crying inside, my little mouth opening and closing but unable to speak. How can I possibly warn my sister to be careful? It's best not to go on blind dates at all. The sisters who drag her to the blind dates are not good people either. They're all arranged by the male lead in advance, just to plot against sister. Zhou Qimiao stared at me with her clear, watery eyes, unable to say a word for a long time. My inner thoughts. What's wrong? My dear sister. Why are you looking at me? Do you think I'm smart, cute, and well-behaved? My poor sister. Anyway, none of our family will have a good ending. We'll all die in the end. I won't live past 3 years old either. The new nanny will secretly sell us to the mountains in a few days, and we won't have enough to eat or wear from then on. Died at 3 years old. Oh my God. I'm also quite miserable. And I'm even called a vicious supporting actress just because I made the female lead feel guilty. Sigh. There's nowhere to reason. I was dizzily thinking about these messy things in my heart. The beautiful mom hugged my hand a little tighter. She gently patted me, and I felt inexplicably safe. Snuggling into her arms. As expected. Only mom is the best in the world. Let me hug for a while. Zhou Qimiao opened and closed her mouth for a long time before she found her voice. Mom. Little sister is quite special. I blinked. Sister's praise is also special. The beautiful mom looked at her eldest daughter, thinking about how badly she would be deceived and how tragically she would die in the future, and couldn't help but feel her eyes turning red. She forced herself to say, yes, since your little sister was born, our family has been having good luck. She is our family's lucky star. The beautiful mom and Zhou Qimiao were talking when Zhou Qimiao's phone rang and a message popped up. Zhou Qimiao froze in place looking at the message. What's wrong? Who sent you a message? The beautiful mom asked. Why does your face look so bad? Zhou Qimiao gripped the phone slightly forcefully. It's my friend. Friend. What friend? What did they ask you to do? The beautiful mom immediately asked. Our family is very free. And the beautiful mom never interferes with my older brother and sister's social life. But this time mom insisted on asking. Zhou Qimiao felt a little strange for a moment. Could it be that mom could also hear her younger sister's words? She muttered to herself and still handed the phone to the beautiful mom. The beautiful mom's face changed drastically when she saw the message on the phone. The message was sent by Zhou Qimiao's roommate, Xiao Mei. Xiao Mei said in the message that the mother of her neighbor's brother was forcing him to go on blind dates. So she wanted to ask Zhou Qimiao to help him out. The beautiful mom felt a chill down her spine. She murmured, "This Xiao Mei actually wants you to pretend to go on a blind date with her neighbor's brother." Instantly, alarm bells rang in my head. Yes, it's Xiao Mei. She's actually the male lead's younger sister. And they're in cahoots. The male lead is handsome. They want my sister to fall in love with him at first sight. When they get married, he'll be her husband and can sign the organ donation consent form for her. Mom was so angry her face turned red. Wishing she could strangle Xiao Mei and the male lead I mentioned. My heart was pounding. The female lead is getting close to my brother to swindle our family's money and help the male lead make a comeback. The male lead is getting close to my sister for her blood and kidney. Oh my god. How melodramatic. What kind of author could come up with such a plot? It's so trashy. I cursed inwardly. Mom took a few deep breaths to calm herself and said to my sister, "Maybe you shouldn't go." Zhou Qimiao looked at her mother. Her eyes slightly raised. She was sure that her mother could hear her younger sister's thoughts. But they couldn't let her know. If her younger sister knew, she wouldn't be able to live comfortably in the future. Zhou Qimiao paused and nodded. "I understand, Mom. Don't worry. I know what to do." I screamed inwardly. "Sister, don't go meet the male lead. You'll fall in love with him. It's going to be terrible." Zhou Qimiao gently touched my little face. "Our little sister is truly our family's lucky star." I didn't know why they said that. But I accepted the compliment. Who told me to be a kid? I was sleepy again. I fell asleep again soon after eating. Mom called Dad, Zhou Qimiao, and Zhou Qiwei to the study and started our family's first very formal family meeting. They already knew their cannon fodder fate and decided to protect every family member. And to start fighting back against the male and female leads. Dad solemnly opened his mouth. "You can all hear your sister's thoughts, right, Mom?" Zhou Qiwei and Zhou Qimiao all nodded. "Our little sister is special." Summarizing her thoughts. "Our family doesn't have a good ending." Zhou Qiwei spread his hands and leaned back, his eyes full of decadent. Zhou Qimiao kicked Zhou Qiwei. "That's how it was before. But with the information our little sister is providing, I think we can turn danger into safety, right?" Dad and Mom immediately nodded. "With our little sister, we can definitely turn danger into safety." The four of them calmed down slightly. And then Dad opened the PPT. As a CEO, he liked to talk based on the pictures. "First, we can now confirm that the female lead our little sister mentioned is Wei Xiaoxiao. And the male lead is the older brother of Demai's roommate, Xiao Mei. They will slowly infiltrate our family through the two of you, one stealing our family's secrets and the other killing Demai. So we must thoroughly investigate these two people." Agreed. Zhou Qiwei raised his hand. At this moment, he still felt some sadness in his heart. After all, he had loved Wei Xiaoxiao for many years. He never expected that the partner he was about to marry would be the culprit who murdered his entire family. "I've already arranged for someone to investigate Wei Xiaoxiao," Dad said. And Zhou Qimiao looked up. "You mean eldest sister?" "I've decided to go on the blind date," Zhou Qimiao said in a deep voice. Dad and Mom's expressions both changed. Little sister already said that man isn't a good match. Mom wanted to stop her. "I know he's not a good person. And I also know he's in cahoots with Wei Xiaoxiao. That's why I'm going on the blind date. Only by going can I find out who the male lead is. And then we can take action against him. Can't we directly investigate Xiao Mei and then trace back to her older brother?" Zhou Qiwei asked. "I don't think so." Zhou Qimiao shook her head. "Xiao Mei only has her and her mom in her family. If little sister hadn't said anything, I wouldn't have thought she had an older brother. What if we find the wrong person? It's better for me to meet him directly. Besides, I already know he'll dig out my kidney and treat me like a mobile blood bank. I'm not sick. How could I fall for someone like that? No matter how handsome he is. He can't be more handsome than Takashi Kaneshiro. Joe Chimiao made her stance clear to everyone. Dad and Mom exchanged glances. If Joe Chimiao could guarantee she wouldn't fall for a scumbag, then going on the blind date was clearly the most direct and accurate method. Dad repeatedly reminded her several times, and seeing that Joe Chimiao answered very firmly, he agreed to her suggestion. Take your little sister with you when you go on the blind date, Dad suddenly suggested. Mom was stunned for a moment. But little sister is still young. Elder sister's eyes lit up. If her health allows it, I'd also like to take little sister with me. Little sister always inadvertently reveals a lot of secrets. We can learn more about them, Joe Chiwei added. Yes. Little sister has some kind of magical ability, right? She's not an ordinary child, so it should be fine. Dad looked at Mom, who was a little uneasy. If it really doesn't work out, I'll go too. I'll wait for you in the car outside. If anything happens, I can handle it temporarily. Okay. Then it's settled. Everyone discussed and agreed. Little sister said she'll be sold to a mountainous area by the nanny we're about to hire, and that she won't have enough to eat or wear. And by the time she's 3 years old, Joe Chimiao suddenly said. When I said this thought out loud, only Mom and Joe Chimiao were present. Everyone else was gone. Dad and Joe Chiwei's expressions changed drastically. Mom's eyes turned red, thinking about how I would be abused at such a young age. She could barely control her emotions. Dad reached out and hugged her. Don't worry. Our family won't hire a nanny anymore. Well, nip this in the bud, Joe Chiwei suddenly said. Do you think the nanny who sells little sister to the mountains might also be related to Wei Xiaoxiao and that male lead? Everyone simultaneously raised their eyes, a fierce hatred rising in their depths. This damn thing. It really is related to them. We've truly reached a point of no return with them, Dad said coldly. Although our family isn't one of those great philanthropists, we haven't done anything evil either. Why are we being targeted like this? Mom asked, puzzled. I've heard little sister mention the male lead, female lead, and author several times. Could it be that we're living in a book? Joe Chimiao said. All three fell silent for a good while. Handsome Dad spoke up. It should be. Don't you guys like reading those strange online novels? Maybe we really are characters in a book, Joe Chimiao said disdainfully. Dad, you're the only one in the family who reads that kind of stuff. Joe Chiwei immediately nodded in agreement. Mom nodded the same way. Handsome Dad cleared his throat twice. Who would have thought a domineering president would enjoy reading online novels? Anyway, don't worry about so many unimportant details, Handsome Dad said. I've read a lot of books like this. The protagonist transmigrates into a book and gets along with their family, just like little sister and us. Then we'll be saved. No matter what. She's my daughter, Mom said firmly. Handsome Dad also nodded. From this moment on, we must protect each other. Joe Chiwei and Joe Chimiao also immediately echoed. When I woke up, Mom was sitting beside me again. I love snuggling in her arms. In my previous life, I was an orphan, let alone being held by my mother. I didn't even know who my mother was. Being able to transmigrate into this book and become their child is actually a pretty happy thing. Dad loves Mom, and my older brothers and sister are very harmonious. They all dote on me. But it's a pity that everyone won't live long. How can I start talking early? I said anxiously to myself. Mom gently patted my little bottom and said softly, Mommy's good baby. It's so good to have you. I don't know if it's just my imagination, but I think she's about to cry. Mom held me in her arms. I couldn't see her expression, but listening to her heartbeat made me feel at ease. During dinner, Mom held me while eating. Zhou Qimiao's phone rang. It's Xiao Mei calling. Zhou Qimiao said to everyone. Everyone fell silent at the same time. Zhou Qimiao simply put it on speakerphone. Meow meow. Why haven't you replied to my messages? A sweet, sugary voice came from the other end of the phone. I didn't see it. My phone ran out of battery and was charging in the room. What's wrong? Zhou Qimiao asked. Let me tell you. My neighbor's older brother is being forced by his mother to go on a blind date. I want to ask you to come over and help me deal with it, Xiao Mei said softly, like a girl trying to coax her best friend. Zhou Qimiao retorted. Why don't you go yourself? I'm already very familiar with their family. His mom knows me. If she sees me, it would be very awkward for both of us. You help me make an appearance, and then I'll secretly take a photo from afar to deal with her. Please. Meow meow. You're so beautiful and kind-hearted. You'll definitely agree. And my neighbor's brother is super handsome. If you happen to like him, I'd be helping to make a match, Xiao Mei said with a smile, after Zhou Qimiao went to college. She had a good relationship with this roommate. Zhou Qimiao was generous and would share many things with her roommate. Her roommate was also quite pretty and had a sweet tongue. So Zhou Qimiao felt very lucky. My poor sister. Xiao Mei doesn't think you're nice. Nor is she kind-hearted. She just wants to take advantage of you. She can tell you have money. Her nickname for you is Easy Mark. I don't know if it was my imagination, but I thought Zhou Qimiao's lips twitched. Xiao Mei. I understand. When are we going? You tell me. Zhou Qimiao's voice wasn't as gentle as before. Hearing her agree, Xiao Mei didn't dwell on it and immediately said, It's tomorrow. We happen to have the day off tomorrow. Tomorrow at 9 in the morning. They'll send you the address for the date on WeChat later. Okay. Then that's settled. I've got to go. I'm busy. Zhou Qimiao hung up the phone directly after speaking. Usually, Zhou Qimiao would wait for her to hang up before hanging up herself. She thought it was more polite that way. Xiao Mei looked at her phone and instantly jumped up with joy. Not noticing that this time when she called Zhou Qimiao hung up first. The next morning, Zhou Qimiao went to my room. Mom had just changed my diaper. I looked at Zhou Qimiao with anxious eyes. Sis. Dear sis. You're really going on a blind date. What do I do? If you go on a blind date, you'll definitely fall for a scumbag. And then your fate will be completely in his hands. How can I remind you? I'm worried. Zhou Qimiao's gaze became even gentler as she looked at me. She suddenly suggested, Mom, I want to take little sister with me today. Mom immediately cooperated. That's good. Take your sister with you on your blind date. It won't be awkward if you don't like the guy. That's right. You absolutely must not like him. Zhou Qimiao, God bless you. You must cure your love brain before you go out. I roared in my heart. Zhou Qimiao coughed lightly twice. Mom will wait for you nearby. I'll have the driver, old Zhang, drive an RV nearby. You and sister go. And after you meet the man, come find me at the RV. Mom carefully instructed. And Zhou Qimiao responded, holding me as she went out. The driver took us to the coffee shop. Before entering, my mind was already ranting madly. He's a scumbag. Zhou Qimiao. He's a scumbag. He actually has no money. His family is extremely poor. He's also an illegitimate child. To be able to return to their family and seize the family property of his scumbag dad and his original wife's children. He wants to use you. Such a man with depraved character. My poor sister. What a waste. I kept mumbling in my heart. And Zhou Qimiao kept patting me, as if to reassure me. For some reason, I inexplicably felt like it had a little effect. We both walked in, and a young man saw Zhou Qimiao, stood up, and waved at us. I followed Zhou Qimiao's gaze. The man was wearing a slightly more formal suit. Light gray without a tie, with the top 2 buttons of his collar undone, revealing his beautiful collarbone. He wore rimless glasses, and his features were very delicate, giving off a total refined scoundrel vibe. I silently complained in my heart. He doesn't just look like a scoundrel. He really is one. And deliberately unbuttoning the top 2 buttons doesn't make him look sexy at all. Just a greasy uncle. Zhou Qimiao chuckled. Anne, holding me, walked up to the man in a few steps. Alarm bells went off in my head. Oh my God. She smiled. She smiled. Could it be? She's smitten with him. No. Please no. Zhou Qimiao. Sitting across from the man, Zhou Qimiao spoke first. Hello. My name is Zhou Qimiao. I'm Zaya Maya's roommate. She asked me to come and help you fake something. Hello. My name is Gu Yanting. I continued to complain in my heart. Sure enough. Sure enough. 9 out of 10 male leads are named Gu. The author's imaginations are too limited. They can't break free from these few surnames. Zhang Wang Li Zhao aren't bad either. Speaking of which, Big Boss Zhang and Little Boss Wang are both very imposing. The smile on Zhou Qimiao's lips was almost impossible to hide. Is Xiao Mei nearby? Didn't she say she was going to help take a photo? My sister is still young. Well, be leaving in a little while. Gu Yanting obviously didn't expect Zhou Qimiao to seem completely uninterested in him. He had prepared this outfit completely according to Zhou Qimiao's preferences. Could it be that the information he received was wrong? Gu Yanting smiled politely. Xiao Mei shouldn't be here yet. How about we chat for a while? What would you like to drink? He handed the phone ordering page to Zhou Qimiao in a very TV gentleman way. Zhou Qimiao didn't look at it. Just plain water. Thank you. Gu Yanting immediately asked the waiter to pour Zhou Qimiao a glass of warm water, and ordered a glass of orange juice and a cup of coffee for himself. Then placed the orange juice next to Zhou Qimiao's hand. You can try this orange juice. It's all freshly squeezed. Very fresh. Zhou Qimiao thanked him, lowered her head and drank the water, looking like she didn't want to be disturbed. I was quite satisfied with Zhou Qimiao's reaction, and I applauded wildly in my heart. That's great. Zhou Qimiao. You weren't attracted to this scum. Zhou Qimiao, you leveled up. Zhou Qimiao, you're awesome. Gu Yanting tried to strike up a conversation several times but failed to get Zhou Qimiao to respond. The two of them just sat there awkwardly for more than 10 minutes. Xiao Mei finally arrived, and when she saw the two of them sitting there, she immediately walked over with a happy smile. Qimiao, how's my neighbor brother? She asked with a smile. Zhou Qimiao looked at her indifferently and nodded with a smile. That's when Xiao Mei saw me. She was stunned. Qimiao, why are you bringing a child to a blind date? Is she by any chance? Xiao Mei covered her mouth, as if she had discovered some secret. Zhou Qimiao glared at her unhappily. What nonsense are you talking about? This is my sister. I thought it would be awkward for two strangers to sit together, so I brought my sister out. You brought her out when she's so young. She's so cute, and she looks just like you. Xiao Mei laughed and smoothed things over, then sat directly next to Gu Yanting. They'll take a couple of pictures of you too, Xiao Mei said. Guj. You sit next to Miao Miao. My sister quickly stopped her. It's okay. This is fine as it is. Just take a picture of us sitting across from each other drinking coffee from afar, which can prove that your Guj is actually on a blind date. Xiao Mei was stunned. She didn't expect Zhou Qimiao to directly reject her request, without considering whether Gu Yanting was embarrassed. Why does Zhou Qimiao seem a little different today? Xiao Mei hesitated, but did as Zhou Qimiao said. After taking the photos, Xiao Mei cheerfully suggested, how about we go have lunch together? Upon hearing this, I started crying with a wah. I can't let Zhou Qimiao have any more contact with this scumbag. What if my sister isn't completely immune and he acts a little more gentlemanly during lunch? And she falls for him. I need to stop it in time. The more I thought about it, the louder I cried. And everyone in the coffee shop looked at us. Zhou Qimiao quickly comforted me, gently patting my back, then picked me up and got up. I'm really sorry, Xiao Mei. My sister doesn't seem very happy. I need to take her to my mom. She might be hungry. With that, Zhou Qimiao turned and left with me in her arms, leaving Xiao Mei and Gu Yanting staring at each other. What's going on? Didn't you say she likes men like me? How did she suddenly change her personality? Xiao Mei muttered unhappily. It's okay. After she goes back to the dorm, they'll say more good things about you, and then you can go to the school to find me. They'll pull her along and we'll all have dinner together. Anyway, there will be plenty of opportunities to meet, Xiao Mei said after thinking for a moment. We need to think of some other ways, Gu Yanting said. At this moment, Beauty Mom was wearing headphones, listening to the two of them talking. Zhou Qimiao deliberately left her phone on the seat when she left. Zhou Qimiao returned me to Beauty Mom's arms. I was sobbing. Zhou Qimiao deliberately said, I haven't taken my phone yet. I'll go back and get it now. I screamed inwardly. Don't let my sister go. Stay away from the scumbag. Stay away from the scumbag. Let Lao Zhang go get it, Beauty Mom said, patting me soothingly. Soon, Lao Zhang brought back Zhou Qimiao's phone. Zhou Qimiao looked at me with the phone. Only then did I secretly breathe a sigh of relief. Close call. My family of adults really isn't enough for me to worry about. Alas, this family would fall apart without me. Beauty Mom and Zhou Qimiao smiled at each other. Zhou Qimiao had taken temporary leave from work and was staying at home after the blind date with Gu Yanting. My handsome dad had someone buy a condo for Zhou Qimiao near the school, and it's undergoing simple renovations. Once it's ready, Zhou Qimiao will move out of the school dorm. A week passed in the blink of an eye. My beautiful mom was holding me in the yard, basking in the sun, with Zhou Qimiao by our side. My handsome dad walked in with a grave expression. My beautiful mom quickly asked, What's wrong? Did something happen at the company? I also perked up instantly, my dark, sparkling eyes fixed on my handsome dad. My handsome dad didn't hide anything from me and sat directly across from us. Our nanny had a car accident. My beautiful mom was so shocked she almost jumped out of her chair. What happened? She was hit by a car while crossing the road to buy groceries today. How is she? My beautiful mom asked with concern. She's not in mortal danger, but she won't be able to work for a while. I've arranged for her to be hospitalized. And the driver who caused the accident has been caught. They said they just got their license and were nervous, mistaking the accelerator for the brake, which caused the accident. They're being very cooperative, my handsome dad said in a low voice. My beautiful mom and Zhou Qimiao exchanged glances, knowing that this was happening to our nanny because of the plot development. Just then, Zhou Qiwei and Wei Xiaoxiao arrived at our house. Zhou Qiwei's relationship with Wei Xiaoxiao has become noticeably distant lately. To keep Zhou Qiwei close, Wei Xiaoxiao has been working even harder and showing him more concern in her daily life. She followed Zhou Qiwei home today, saying she came to see me. Uncle, Auntie, Qimiao. Hello. Wei Xiaoxiao greeted us gently, not forgetting to wave at me to show her kindness. Knowing she has no good intentions towards our family, I tilted my head and snuggled into my beautiful mom's arms. What are you all talking about? Wei Xiaoxiao asked with concern. Zhou Qiwei also looked at his parents. My handsome dad's eyes darkened slightly. Then he looked up and said, The nanny at home had an accident. I just came back from the hospital. What happened to the nanny? Zhou Qiwei was clearly also surprised. My handsome dad briefly told him about the nanny's situation. It's good that she's okay, but if that's the case, who will help Auntie with her daily life without a nanny? Wei Xiaoxiao said. My handsome dad. Beautiful mom. Zhou Qimiao and Zhou Qiwei subtly exchanged glances. My beautiful mom nodded. Yes, that's right. I happen to know a friend who runs a domestic service. I can ask him to help introduce a new nanny, Wei Xiaoxiao said. Zhou Qiwei directly refused. No need. We have someone suitable in mind. Wei Xiaoxiao clearly didn't understand. Since the nanny just had a car accident, how could Zhou Qiwei already know of a suitable candidate? Seeing this, my handsome dad quickly covered for him. A relative from our hometown mentioned before that she wanted to work as a nanny at our house. At that time, we already had a nanny, so we didn't use her. Now that this nanny has had an accident, it's perfect timing for her to come and fill the position. Dad helped Zhou Qiwei cover up the lie. Zhou Qiwei nodded hastily. Yes, they are all acquaintances who know each other well. With her taking care of my sister, we feel more at ease. Wei Xiaoxiao smiled. That's good. It's good to have someone helping to take care of her. I have to say, the female lead is the female lead. Her mental fortitude is online throughout. And even though she didn't achieve her goal, no one noticed anything unusual about her. I muttered to myself. When can we completely get rid of the male and female leads? If we don't defeat them, they will eventually lead to our demise. I sighed, and Mom gently patted me. Zhou Qiwei got up. I'm going back to my room first. Xiao, you come with me. Wei Xiaoxiao nodded, smiled at us, and followed Zhou Qiwei back to his room. Dad said, I always feel like she has bad intentions. Mom nodded, and I instantly cheered in my heart. Oh my God, Dad is so smart. He actually saw that the female lead had bad intentions. Does that mean he's also prepared in other ways? Go Dad. Dad was in a great mood after being praised. If it's not Wei Xiaoxiao who is introducing the nanny, does that mean there really is a suitable person coming to help? Zhou Qimiao asked. Dad shook his head. No, it's just that Wei Xiaoxiao said it, and I felt that her people were unreliable. So I helped your brother cover for him. Otherwise, that idiot brother of yours would have almost spilled the beans, Dad said with disdain. Mom nodded. Our Awei is just too honest. If it weren't to figure out why they are targeting our family, I estimate that he would have broken up with her already. Yes. Now my brother is being wronged. What will we do without a nanny? Zhou Qimiao asked. Dad thought for a moment and said, It's okay. They'll just really get someone from our hometown to introduce a reliable person. Want I? Mom said at this time. Why are we still looking for someone introduced by the family? Just let my good friend come over. I have a bestie named Dong Qingqing. She's very beautiful, speaks softly, and is a great cook. But she's just not very lucky. She married a very rich husband when she was young. But her husband died right after they got married, and her in-laws directly forced her to leave with nothing. Later, she got married again, this time to a gambling addict. He gambled away everything within a few years of marriage, and almost sold her off. If I hadn't intervened, she would have really been in dire straits. Qingqing was completely disappointed in men and has been single for so many years. Indeed, staying single ensures safety. Okay, then let's invite her over to help out for a while, Dad responded. Great. They'll call her and ask her to come over. And we can catch up too. Mom was in a great mood. I was wondering where I had heard the name Dong Qingqing before, but I couldn't remember for a moment. I muttered to myself, who is she? She should be an unimportant supporting character. If she were important, I should be able to remember her. I mumbled to myself, and at this moment my stomach rumbled twice. Mom smiled and carried me back to the room. Time for a meal again. Our little sister can eat and sleep well. She's a very healthy child. As she carried me past Zhou Qiwei's room, She saw Wei Xiaoxiao practically hanging on Zhou Qiwei. Mom coughed lightly, and Wei Xiaoxiao quickly straightened up. Zhou Qiwei's face flushed red. Heavens! Is Wei Xiaoxiao trying to force my brother into marriage by using her beauty to infatuate him? I mentally ranted. Zhou Qiwei quickly explained. Mom, Xiaoxiao just lost her balance. I only helped her steady herself. It's not what you think. Wei Xiaoxiao, her face red, said, I have something to do. I'll go back now. With that, she hurried downstairs and quickly got into her car and left. Mom looked at Zhou Qiwei and said, Away. You need to be mindful of your actions. Zhou Qiwei hastily explained. Mom, really? It's not like that. I really don't have anything with her. Don't you believe me? I sighed heavily in my heart. Since ancient times, heroes have had a hard time resisting the charms of beautiful women. The female lead is attractive to all men. It's normal that my brother can't resist temptation. I just hope he'll be okay. Or maybe take him to a mental hospital for a look. Perhaps seeing the misery of those people will make him give up on beautiful women. Mom carried me back to the room. After I finished my milk, I fell straight to sleep. After all, I'm still a child and can't meddle in so many adult affairs. I woke up around 4 or 5 in the afternoon. And Mom carried me downstairs. There were no nannies at home at this time. Zhou Qimiao was in the kitchen preparing dinner. But she wasn't very good at it. Handsome Dad was helping her. Zhou Qiwei also happened to come downstairs. Still feeling down because of Wei Xiaoxiao's earlier attempt to seduce him. Meow meow. Come hold your sister. I'll go help Dad. Okay. Mom. Zhou Qimiao immediately put down what she was doing, washed her hands, and took me. She really couldn't cook. Zhou Qiwei came over and sat beside us. Looking dejected. I heard Brother Dong and some others are asking you to dinner. Aren't you going? Zhou Qimiao asked. Zhou Qiwei shook his head. Not in the mood. It's not a big deal. It's just Wei Xiaoxiao. You'll meet someone better in the future. This is just a temporary measure. Zhou Qimiao comforted him. You know, I used to think she was perfect. But now, for some reason, whenever I see her, I think of some not so good things, which makes me not want to see her at all. She's trying every possible way to win me back. And it's really annoying. Zhou Qiwei complained. You still shouldn't go too far. What if you scare her off? Zhou Qimiao said. Zhou Qiwei sighed heavily. I blinked my big eyes. What's going on? It seems like there's a rift between my brother and Wei Xiaoxiao. That's great. My romance-addled brother seems to be waking up. No, to be precise, it seems like my brother is finally getting a brain. Zhou Qimiao couldn't help but laugh. Zhou Qiwei held his forehead with one hand. Is it necessary, little sister? Is it necessary to be so harsh on your brother? But he didn't dare say these words out loud. He could only mutter them silently in his heart. I couldn't hear his thoughts, so I had no idea why they were laughing. I continued. Big brother's friends aren't all good people. It's a pity I didn't go with him. If I had gone with him, I could have helped him distinguish between the true and the false. Alas, knowing the plot is useless. I can't talk. Even if I could talk, they wouldn't believe me. After all, I'm just a little thing. How would I know so much? I tossed and turned. Feeling emo. They'll take little sister to the party tonight, Zhou Qiwei suddenly said. I was stunned. What? Take me to a party? I'm only a little over a month old. Bro. Have a heart. Zhou Qimiao cleared her throat twice and said. Zhou Qiwei, have you thought about this? Is it appropriate to take your sister to a party when she's so young? What's inappropriate? It's appropriate for my sister to go anywhere, Zhou Qiwei said loudly. And then he picked me up. Baby sister, you're going with brother tonight. Whoever you don't like, kick them with your feet. Whoever you kick, brother will break off relations with them. Okay. Whoever you pat with your hand, brother will become best friends with them. I trust you completely, Zhou Qiwei said to me earnestly. Oh no. My brother's gone crazy. The female lead has driven him crazy. Oh God. This is too difficult. My handsome, dashing, and debonair brother. I whimpered. Zhou Qiwei held me in his arms, and Zhou Qimiao was behind him, laughing so hard she was bending over. An hour later, I was still in Zhou Qiwei's car. It was rare for Zhou Qiwei to bring a driver with him this time because he couldn't drive while holding me. I had a small milk bottle hanging around my neck, and before we left, my beautiful mom changed my diaper. She was worried about everything. Even more worried than when I accompanied my eldest sister on her blind date. She wanted to come along, but Zhou Qiwei refused. Zhou Qiwei said he could definitely take good care of me and told them not to get in the way. So in the end, only the driver, old Zhang, set off with us. Hotel private room. When Zhou Qiwei walked in holding me, everyone was stunned. Lao Zhou, do you have an illegitimate daughter? One of them said in surprise. Don't talk nonsense about illegitimate daughters. This is my little sister. Your little sister. I remember she's only a little over a month old. Why did you bring her out? There's no one at home to watch the child today. I'm watching her for a day, Zhou Qiwei said perfunctorily. I complained in my heart. Clearly there are dad, mom, and Jiju at home, but you insisted on bringing me out. And you're even saying there's no one to watch me. I kicked Zhou Qiwei directly. Zhou Qiwei put on an act. I'm the person my sister hates. I'm so sad. Jahan, why are you here? Didn't you say you weren't coming today? Zhou Qiwei said to the first boy who spoke to him. The boy laughed and got up to greet him. I was supposed to have a family gathering tonight, but something came up with my family, so I was released. I had nothing to do, so I came to find you guys, Jahan said with a smile. Jahan. Chu. Jahan. I suddenly realized who he was. My pretty eyes sparkling. Chu Jahan had already walked up to me. He reached out to pinch my little face, and I directly raised my hand and grabbed his finger. Oh my God. He's Chu Jahan. He's the future richest man. My inner voice exclaimed. Zhou Qiwei's eyes were fixed on Chu Zihan's face. What richest man? How did this silly kid become the richest man? It's not scientific. I'm clearly smarter and more handsome than him. Zhou Qiwei complained in his heart. And this Chu Jahan is a really good person. He's my brother's only true friend. When something happened to our family, he was the only one who came to visit as soon as he heard the news. But he was too late. By that time, our family was already finished. I sighed again. Although Zhou Qiwei is now wary of the female lead, and Zhou Qimiao hasn't had any interaction with the male lead yet, I don't know why I still feel uneasy. A look of worry appeared on my little face. Zhou Qiwei immediately handed me to Chu Jahan. Jahan, hold my sister for a while. I'm going to the bathroom. Don't give her to anyone else. Only you can hold her. Chu Jahan immediately responded. Okay. No problem. I'm especially good at holding kids. I've been holding my nephew since he was little. Chu Jahan took me with a smile. And indeed his movements for holding a child were quite standard. Zhou Qiwei returned in less than 2 minutes. Seeing that Chu Jahan was holding me well, Zhou Qiwei poured himself a drink. Hold her for me for a bit longer. I think my sister likes you quite a bit, Chu Jahan responded. He really liked children, teasing me from time to time, and not forgetting to feed me some milk, really taking care of everything. At this time, another boy stood up. Qiwei, although you brought your sister today, you can't not drink any alcohol at all. We're brothers. We have to have a little. Wei Kuan. If I drink, I drink. Am I afraid of you? Zhou Qiwei said with a smile. But in reality, he wasn't planning on drinking. He was now deliberately calling out these people's names. And then wanted to hear what I was complaining about in my heart. Wei Kuan. I mentally screamed. Wei Kuan is Wei Xiaoxiao's half-brother. He's purely by my brother's side to get brownie points for his sister. When his sister attacks our family in the future, he'll be the first to turn against us. My brother's eyes turned slightly cold. Interesting. Really didn't expect that. Wei Xiaoxiao had unknowingly infiltrated almost everyone around him. My brother called out names one by one, and I complained about them one by one. One was Wei Xiaoxiao's loyal simp. One was Gu Yanting's good brother. In short, apart from Chu Shahan, there wasn't a single good person at this table. When our family collapses in the future, they will all be contributors. And of course, they will all benefit from it. Suddenly, a thought sparked in my mind. Right. Chu Shahan will be the richest man in the future. He's handsome and has a great personality. Why can't I introduce him to my sister as a brother-in-law? Zhou Qiwei heard my inner voice, and his eyes lit up instantly. His gaze fell on Chu Zihan's face. Scrutinizing him for a good while, he agreed with my idea. Indeed, since he's excellent in every aspect, it's best to keep the good stuff within the family. Introducing him to Miao Miao is a great choice. With this in mind, Zhou Qiwei's gaze towards Chu Jahan became even more ardent. Jahan, I have something to take care of. Come with me first and help me look after my sister. Chu Jahan has always loved children. He can join the guys anytime, but if there's an urgent need to help take care of a child, he'd definitely offer his help. He immediately nodded in agreement. Amidst the others' murmurings, he left with my big brother. Old Zhang, let's go home, Zhou Qiwei said excitedly as soon as he got into the car. Go home? Why are you taking me home? Chu Jahan asked. Puzzled. To have you as a guest at our house. Chu Jahan was taken home by Zhou Qiwei. Utterly confused, Chu Jahan followed Zhou Qiwei towards the house, with Zhou Qiwei carrying me. As the two were talking, Zhou Qimiao happened to open the door and walk out. She didn't see anyone outside and bumped straight into Chu Zihan's arms. Chu Jahan instinctively reached out and wrapped his arms around Zhou Qimiao's waist. Their eyes met, and time seemed to stand still. Chu Jahan is indeed good-looking. A handsome and elegant figure. Although he's not the domineering CEO type, he exudes a fresh and refined air that makes people feel comfortable. The two looked at each other, and time seemed to freeze. Pink bubbles filled my heart. Is this love at first sight? Did Chu Jahan and my sister fall in love at first sight? Hearing my voice, Zhou Qimiao suddenly came back to her senses and quickly took a step back. Ooh, sorry. I didn't know anyone was there. Zhou Qimiao's little face was flushed, making her look incredibly cute. Zhou Qiwei. There's something going on. Definitely something going on. It's okay, Chu Jahan quickly responded. The two stood there. Their bewildered expressions were truly adorable. My mind was filled with pink bubbles, making soft, happy noises. Chu Jahan subconsciously looked at me. The little girl is quite cute. Zhou Qimiao nodded. Yes, my little sister has always been this cute. Where are you rushing off to? Want me to take you? I want to go to the dorm to get a book, Zhou Qimiao said, blushing. I'll go with you. I don't have anything else to do anyway, Chu Jahan said. Zhou Qiwei tilted his head. Aren't you here to be a guest at our house? Who said you have nothing to do? Chu Jahan had already forgotten what he came for and that he didn't even drive. Zhou Qimiao walked out with him, leaving me and Zhou Qiwei, who were completely ignored, staring at each other blankly. Little girl, you're going to have a brother-in-law, I replied in my heart. Big brother, You're going to have a brother-in-law. We looked at each other and smiled. And Zhou Qiwei picked me up and chased after them. Big brother, why are you holding me? Aren't they going on a date? Miao Miao just said she was going back to the dormitory to get a book. And Xiaomei has been in the dormitory. Who knows if she'll run into trouble after she goes there. I'll take you with me. Just in case something happens and we can help deal with it. Although Chu Zhihan said he and Miao Miao hit it off, they only just hit it off. Some things men do are still unreliable. Big brother is still more reliable. Zhou Qiwei muttered as he hurried to catch up. After Zhou Qimiao and Chu Zhihan got into the car, he also got into the car. Brother, why are you here too? To accompany you. Your little sister is worried about you. So we'll both accompany you. Zhou Qimiao's face was slightly red. It's broad daylight. What do I need you to accompany me for? After the words came out, she tilted her head and happened to see the setting sun. And Zhou Qimiao immediately shut her mouth. Zhou Qiwei said, "The apartment that Mom and Dad arranged for you should be almost renovated, right?" "Yes. I just remembered that I have a document to submit tomorrow. And there are some knowledge points that I can't quite remember. They're all in that book. So I have to go back and get it," Zhou Qimiao said. I silently gave Zhou Qimiao a thumbs up in my heart. Sister is awesome. Sister is such a good sister who loves to learn. Positive and full of energy. The corners of Zhou Qimiao's lips curled up slightly. Looking extremely cute. Chu Zhihan finally slowly came back to his senses at this moment, and realized that his performance was too direct. His handsome face became even hotter. Future brother-in-law is blushing. I screamed in my heart. God. I can actually eat melons up close. Zhou Qimiao was so restless by my words for a while. Fortunately, the distance from our home to the school is not too far. We arrived at the school together. Zhou Qiwei carried me. Chu Zhihan followed beside Zhou Qimiao. And our group went to the dormitory building in a mighty manner. Boys are not allowed to enter girls' dormitories. This is the case in every school. So Zhou Qiwei and Chu Zhihan waited downstairs. Is sister going upstairs alone? I can accompany her. I'm a girl. I waved my little hand there vigorously towards Zhou Qimiao. Zhou Qimiao immediately reached out and picked me up, carefully holding me. She entered the dormitory building and quickly returned to her dormitory. The dormitory was a double room where only she and Xiaomei lived. Xiaomei saw Zhou Qimiao holding me in and immediately gave a big smile. Our Miao Miao is really beautiful and kind-hearted. She likes to bring her sister with her wherever she goes. You like children so much. When are you going to have one yourself? Xiaomei joked. If it were in the past, Zhou Qimiao would have felt very close and just smiled at her. But this time Zhou Qimiao said seriously, I haven't graduated yet. It's too early to have children. And besides, I just like my sister. I don't like having my own children. Xiaomei was stunned for a moment. She always felt that since she introduced Gu Yanting and Zhou Qimiao to meet, Zhou Qimiao's attitude towards her had become worse and worse. And she didn't even live in the dormitory anymore. Xiaomei paused, then put on a cute smile and said, Miao Miao, you haven't been back to the dorm for days. My mom arranged a new place for me to live. I won't be staying in the dorm anymore. Not staying in the dorm. Doesn't that leave me all alone? Xiaomei exclaimed. Zhou Qimiao nodded, placed me on her bed, and quickly found her books. She packed all the useful ones into her bag, looked at the others, took some daily necessities, and then picked me up, ready to leave. I'm leaving, Xiaomei, Zhou Qimiao said. Xiaomei immediately followed her. They'll see you off, she said, following her out. You don't have to. My brother and the others came with me, Zhou Qimiao responded. She couldn't afford to fall out with Xiaomei yet. After all, they didn't know who else was behind her. so they needed to maintain a semblance of peace on the surface. Zhou Qimiao finally nodded. Xiao Mei followed us downstairs and, seeing Chu Zhihan standing next to Zhou Qiwei, her eyes lit up. I shouted inwardly, "Oh no! This Xiao Mei has taken a fancy to my future brother-in-law. Brother-in-law. You must stay strong. My sister is the best." Zhou Qimiao frowned slightly. She strode up to Zhou Qiwei. "Brother. Let's go." "Okay. Let's go first." "Hello, brother. And this is?" Xiao Mei asked with a smile. As if she didn't notice everyone was already turning to leave, Chu Zhihan took a step back. "He's a friend of my Miao Miao," Zhou Qiwei introduced. He had, of course, heard my thoughts and wouldn't give Xiao Mei a chance. Xia Mai's internal alarm bells immediately went off. Just then, Gu Yanting walked over. He greeted Zhou Qimiao with a smile. "Miss Zhou. Hello. We meet again." "Hello." Zhou Qimiao nodded. Chu Zhihan subtly sized up Gu Yanting. Xiao Mei said with a smile, "What a coincidence. Miao Miao. You went on a blind date with Yanting before. And now you've met again. Isn't that a great fate?" Zhou Qimiao immediately corrected. "I was helping you go on a fake blind date with him. Mr. Gu and I aren't really acquaintances. Don't joke around like that." Xiao Mei playfully stuck out her tongue. Okay. I just think you two are a match made in heaven." Chu Zhihan coughed lightly and stepped forward. "Let me hold the little one." He reached out to me, and I immediately reached out to Chu Zhihan to be held. "Don't we have something to do?" "Let's go," Zhou Qiwei said. Zhou Qimiao nodded. "We won't keep you. Well, leave first." With that, our group quickly left. Gu Yanting, who had originally wanted to engineer an encounter, could only watch Zhou Qimiao leave. He frowned as he looked at Xiao Mei, whose face also looked rather unpleasant. After a while, once he was sure we were far away, Xiao Mei spoke. "Brother, I'm sorry. I don't know why it's like this. From my understanding of Zhou Qimiao, she should like you. Okay. Let's not talk about this for now. I've already got other ways to deal with it. You just need to keep everything normal at school. They'll find you if I need anything. By the way, brother, Zhou Qimiao has decided to move out of the dorm. Do you think she's found out something?" "Found out what?" "We haven't done anything." "What could she have found out? Could it be that she's unhappy about the blind date you set her up with?" Xiao Mei frowned and thought for a long time. "I don't think it's about that. Knowing her, she wouldn't get angry over such a small favor. It's really strange. It's like their whole family is wary of us. Things aren't going smoothly with Xiao Xiao either. Zhou Qiwei has been very cold to her lately." Gu Yanting said in a cold voice. "Could it be that he has another woman?" Xiao Mei guessed with a frown. "Doesn't seem like it. You see him taking the child everywhere he goes. Where would he find a woman?" The siblings studied the situation for a long time but couldn't find the root of the problem. In the car, I sat in Chu Zihan's arms, grabbing his finger with my little hand one moment and Zhou Qimiao's finger the next. As if I were connecting the two of them, Zhou Qiwei glanced in the rearview mirror, barely suppressing the smile on his lips. Who would have thought that his best friend and his beloved sister would actually catch each other's eye? The atmosphere in the car was inexplicably warm. "I haven't eaten," Zhou Qiwei suddenly said. Chu Zhihan echoed. "I haven't either. Let's find a place to eat," Zhou Qimiao said. "Okay. This little one." Zhou Qiwei looked at me and saw that my milk bottle was empty. I immediately smacked my lips to indicate that I was very hungry and wanted to go home for milk. "Let's send the little one back first. Then go out." "Okay. Let's do that." Then I was sent back into the arms of my beautiful mom. Beautiful mom was overjoyed to see me, kissing and smelling me. I giggled and said in my heart, "Mom, that Chu Zhihan just now is the future richest man." He and sister fell in love at first sight. You're going to have a billionaire son-in-law. Mom smiled even more brightly when she heard that. But Dad's face wasn't very happy. Probably every dad feels unhappy when he thinks about marrying off his daughter. By the way, honey, Ching Ching said she can come over tomorrow. Okay. I've already arranged her room. The Zhou family is very rich. But there is only one nanny in the Zhou family because they don't like having strangers in the house. The driver doesn't live at home either. He comes over when needed. The nanny and driver used to live in an apartment near the villa. After I came along, the nanny moved into the villa because beautiful mom and I needed someone to take care of us. A child's energy is limited after all. After eating my fill, I fell asleep. I slept until 10 o'clock at night. As soon as I woke up, I saw Zhou Qimiao, Zhou Qiwei, and my parents sitting in my room. The four of them looked like they had some happy event, and everyone's expression was very joyful. What's wrong? I asked silently in my heart. Even though I knew no one could answer me, I couldn't help but have some mental activity. Meow meow. You are amazing. I didn't expect Mom to praise her, and my eldest sister raised her head with a proud look. Zhou Qiwei also praised. Who would have thought you could install a bug in the dormitory that way? As long as Xiaomei makes a phone call or discusses anything in the dormitory, we can hear it. I blinked my big eyes. When did this happen? When did my sister install the bug? Could it be when she took me back? Zhou Qimiao then said. When I put my little sister on the bed. I tidied up the bed, by the way, and put the bug in the interlayer under my bed, so no one would notice anything underneath. Figure out why Gu Yanting is trying to get close to us, and who is behind Wei Xiaoxiao. Once we figure these things out, we can take action against them, Mom said. The evidence we have in hand now is enough to send them in. But we haven't acted because we don't know who is behind them, Dad said. I desperately applauded my dad in my heart. Dad is so handsome. Dad proudly raised his head. Yes. I also think, logically speaking, there is no such thing as unprovoked love, nor unprovoked hate. Why are they targeting us? It can't just be because they are classmates with me and my eldest brother. So Xiaomei and Wei Xiaoxiao respectively targeted the two of us. And how is it such a coincidence? It seems that there is a dark thread stringing us together, and we haven't found this thread yet. Zhou Qimiao followed up with her analysis. Mom nodded. Our family has always emphasized integrity in business, and even in business competition, we have never driven anyone to ruin. It shouldn't be happening in our case. Do we know what Gu Yanting's parents and Xiaomaya's mother and Wei Xiaoxiao's parents do? Zhou Qiwei asked. We don't know yet. We've sent people to investigate, but no accurate news has come back yet. I guess it's not easy to investigate. If they were ordinary people, we could directly check their household registration to find their information. Since the household registration can't be found, it means someone deliberately hid some information. Dad analyzed. Yes, there is someone behind them. I shouted in my heart at this time. I know who that person is. But I don't know his name. That person used to be considered a friend of Dad's. But later our family became rich and happy. But he had a bad life. Later, he raised 2 children. Or rather 3 children. Xiaomei, Gu Yanting, and Wei Xiaoxiao are all related to him. He has a great influence on the 3 of them. He just doesn't want Dad to live well. So he secretly instructed these people to plot against our family. Dad frowned and thought carefully. Which friend was jealous of him? He had many friends when he was young. But many drifted apart over time. Even classmates can be called friends, which is too broad. Now, it's just a long-term investment. We'll catch him when Gu Yanting and Wei Xiaoxiao meet with that person. Or we can pinpoint that person through the intersection of the 3 of them. Beauty Mom was also wondering. She and handsome dad grew up together as childhood sweethearts. She didn't know who exactly would have such intense jealousy. Needless to say, Zhou Qiwei and Zhou Qimiao were even less familiar with handsome dad's early friends because they were still young. The four chatted for a while, discussed future plans, and then went to bed. I yawned and fell asleep as well. The next morning, when Beauty Mom carried me downstairs, a beautiful middle-aged woman was sitting in the living room. "Ching Ching, you're here so early," Beauty Mom said with a smile as she walked towards the middle-aged woman. I followed Beauty Mom's gaze. The woman standing there had a gentle, water-like expression. But for some reason, I felt uncomfortable all over. Why? I couldn't find any information about this person in my mind. Dong Qingqing said with a smile. "You asked me for help. Of course I have to come early. Otherwise, how can you manage alone? With the little one and the whole family. You're still the most considerate," Beauty Mom said with a smile. "This is my precious little daughter, Zhou Qiqi." "Hello, Qiqi. What a lovely little girl," Dong Qingqing said with a smile. Beauty Mom exchanged a few pleasantries, then went to the kitchen. As she hadn't prepared breakfast yet, "Let me prepare breakfast, or old Zhou will be late for work, and Xiaowei and Miao Miao will be busy getting to school," Dong Qingqing said as she started busying around. Beauty Mom, filled with gratitude, placed me in the mobile crib and went to help. The two of them chatting and laughing as they prepared breakfast. When handsome dad, Zhou Qiwei, and Zhou Qimiao came downstairs, the table was already full of delicious food. All three greeted Dong Qingqing, and everyone ate breakfast together. After breakfast, those going to work and those going to school went about their respective business. After eating breakfast, Beauty Mom felt a little tired. She talked to Dong Qingqing while looking at me. Dong Qingqing said, "You look like you didn't sleep well last night. Go and catch some sleep. Leave the baby to me. Well, just bask in the sun in the living room, and I'll call you when she needs to be fed." "Okay, Qingqing. I want stand on ceremony with you. I'll go upstairs and sleep for a while. I don't know why, but I feel particularly sleepy this morning." My eyelid twitched, and I felt like something was wrong. Beauty Mom returned to the room and quickly fell asleep. Dong Qingqing and I were in the living room. She held the baby crib with both hands. Her eyes fell on my little face, and she slowly said, "Little one, you're quite cute." I don't know why, but I feel her words are profound and not well-intentioned. I don't care what she wants to do. I can understand her, as long as she says a little more. I'll know everything. I originally wanted to arrange for someone else to come and be your family's nanny, but they thought of me. It seems in their eyes, I'm only fit to be a nanny, Dong Qingqing said slowly, and the light in her eyes grew colder as she spoke. As if she had been bullied, I shouted wildly in my heart. "What are you saying? If you don't want to, you can say you don't want to. Since you're here, why are you acting like someone forced you?" Persecutory delusions, I complained wildly in my heart. Dong Qingqing reached out and picked me up. I cried out "wah" and burst into tears. She slapped my little butt hard without any politeness. I stared at her, sobbing. Dong Qingqing looked at me and said, "Damn little beast. Who told you to cry? If you provoke me again, I'll strangle you to death." I shivered, feeling terribly scared. "It's not the right time yet. In a couple of days, after I steal the documents from your house, I'll sell you to the mountains. I want that bitch to taste the pain of being separated from her own flesh and blood." Separation from flesh and blood. I suddenly remembered. I finally knew who Dong Qingqing was. Dong Qingqing was a friend of both Dad and Mom, someone who couldn't stand to see them doing well. When Dong Qingqing remarried, she was subjected to domestic violence by her gambling husband. Mom rescued her, but at the time, she had a child, and the gambler refused to let her take the child, saying it was their family's heir. In order to escape in time, with my mother's help, Dong Qingqing left that house without the child. I heard that the child was later lost. It all connects. I slammed my hand down hard in my heart. It finally connects. I finally know what happened. So now Dong Qingqing is the most dangerous. She has already entered our house. As long as she stays quietly for 2 days, she can sneak into the study and steal the family's confidential documents. But she doesn't know that those documents have already been faked by handsome dad. Thinking of this, I breathed a slight sigh of relief, but my little butt was burning with pain, and I couldn't help but want to cry. At this moment, the door was suddenly pushed open, and handsome dad strode in, directly snatching me from Dong Qingqing's arms. "Why did you hit the child?" Handsome dad asked coldly. Dong Qingqing was startled. "I didn't. I was just patting her to sleep. Look how red little sister's eyes are from crying. Besides, there's a surveillance camera in the living room. Can't I see if you hit her or not?" Handsome dad's face turned cold, and his tone was very angry. Dong Qingqing was a little flustered. "Lao Zhou. It's probably because I haven't taken care of children for too long, so I was a little rough. But I definitely didn't mean any harm. You have to believe me." My handsome dad, with a cold face, carried me quickly upstairs. My beautiful mom was sleeping groggily, and when she saw us, she tried to open her eyes, but couldn't, and fell back asleep. Handsome dad immediately realized something was wrong and called someone over to take beautiful mom to the hospital. After some tests, traces of sleeping pills were detected in beautiful mom's blood. She didn't wake up until the afternoon. Looking at the white walls, she was stunned. "What's going on? You were drugged." Luckily, it was just sleeping pills. Nothing dangerous. "Who?" beautiful mom asked. Looking confused, Dong Qingqing, beautiful mom widened her eyes in astonishment. "Qingqing, you're saying Qingqing drugged me? How is that possible? We've been best friends since we were little." Since we were little friends. The two keywords instantly triggered something in beautiful mom's mind. She remembered me mentioning last night that dad's friend couldn't stand seeing them happy. This person could very well be Dong Qingqing. She's not just my friend, but dad's too. Could it be that Gu Yanting, Wei Xiao, and Xiao Mei were all arranged by her? Does she have that much power? Handsome dad reached out and hugged beautiful mom. "We can't worry about that right now. I've already called the police and had her arrested. Isn't calling the police going to cause problems? Shouldn't we investigate the people behind her?" Handsome dad looked at beautiful mom resolutely. "No need. Whoever it is, well, meet them hidden. We shouldn't always be in a passive defensive position." This time, she dared to attack Xiao Mei. "What did you say?" She attacked Xiao Mei. "What happened to Xiao Mei?" Beautiful mom exclaimed in shock, almost falling off the bed. Handsome dad helped her steady herself. "It's nothing. I had the doctor give Xiao Mei a full checkup. She only got a couple of slaps on her, but she didn't have time to do anything else. But I heard her say on the surveillance that after she stole the documents, she was going to sell Xiao Mei to a remote mountain area." Beautiful mom's face flushed red with anger, and because it was her friend of many years, she felt both saddened and upset, and couldn't help but shed tears. When beautiful mom's emotions had calmed down a bit, Zhou Qiwei walked in holding me, with Zhou Qimiao following behind. Hearing that something had happened at home, they immediately rushed back. "Mom, are you okay?" Zhou Qimiao asked with concern. "I'm fine, Xiao Mei. Let me hold you." Beautiful mom reached out to me, and I also reached out my little hands to hug her. Beautiful mom held me tightly in her arms. "I'm sorry, Xiao Mei. It's all mom's fault for not being able to recognize people for who they are, causing you to get hit." I snuggled into Mom's arms, indicating, "It's okay. Beautiful Mom. This can't be blamed on you." Who would have thought that their good friend of so many years would be such a volatile and narrow-minded person? I'm telling you, she resents you because you helped her get rid of the gambling addict years ago, causing her and her child to be separated. You were just trying to help her at the time. She was the one who willingly gave up the child. How can you blame everything on yourself? It's good for you to recognize her true colors early, so don't be sad for her. I was mentally comforting my mother. My beautiful Mom's eyes were getting redder and redder. She lowered her head and kissed my little forehead. Luckily, Mom has you guys. My beautiful Mom was discharged from the hospital that night. Dong Qingqing has been locked up. She attempted to steal commercial secrets, abused a child, and administered drugs. The combination of these charges is enough for her to spend several years in prison. It's just that Gu Yanting and Wei Xiaoxiao are still out there. I muttered to myself. My handsome dad said. Gu Yanting and Wei Xiaoxiao have also been sent in by me. I blinked. My handsome dad seemed to be able to read my mind. He had solved the problems I was worried about. In that case, our family is actually safe. Now there's only Xiao Mei left. She can't make any waves. We've been listening to the surveillance. She's scared and doesn't dare to do anything anymore. Great. All the danger alarms for our family have been lifted. I excitedly clapped my little hands in my heart. Suddenly, for a split second, everyone in the room felt a ringing in their ears at the same time. Then they looked at each other and could no longer hear my inner voice. After settling me down to sleep, the four of them held a family meeting again. Can we not hear little sister's inner voice anymore? My handsome dad asked. My beautiful Mom nodded. I think so. Zhou Qiwei and Zhou Qimiao both agreed. It's good that we can't hear it. Little sister has been giving us warnings about danger. Since we can't hear it now, it proves that the danger is really gone. It's a good thing for us. It's also a good thing for little sister. The four of them smiled at each other. From now on, we must be careful and protect our own home. By the way, Meow Meow, how's your relationship with Chu Zhihan going? Zhou Qiwei asked with a smile. He's the richest man. You have to seize the opportunity. What richest man? Don't talk nonsense here. Little sister said it at that time. And this is the brother-in-law little sister chose herself. Little sister, you have to seize the opportunity. Zhou Qimiao's little face was flushed, and she refused to say more. The four of them chatted and laughed, and the atmosphere was great. Early the next morning, Chu Zhihan came to the door, and with him were Chu's parents. Zhou Qimiao was stunned when she saw the three of them. Why did you really come? I wasn't kidding. Yesterday I asked you if I could formally propose to you, and you said yes. The matter of proposing should of course be known to both parents. And I value you very much. I hope my parents also value you. Chu's parents immediately stated that they warmly welcomed any girl their son liked. My parents were naturally happy too. I happily waved my little hands. Finally, the richest man is my brother-in-law. He's from our family. But this time no one could understand my inner voice, but they could all feel my happiness. Finally, with both sets of parents as witnesses, Chu Zhihan solemnly proposed to Zhou Qimiao, and Zhou Qimiao readily agreed. The wedding date was set for 6 months later, which would be when I was 8 months old. Time flies. My family's nanny had fully recovered during these months, and she came back to work. My parents also arranged for 2 baby nurses to be with me, all after in-depth investigations to ensure they were safe. I slowly grew up healthy to 8 months old, and I could already say Papa, Mama, older brother, and older sister. After all, an adult soul resides within my body, so I learned things very quickly, in the blink of an eye. It was the day of Zhou Qimiao and Chu Zihan's wedding. I was the flower girl, held by Zhou Qiwei. Beautiful mom dressed me in a white tulle skirt and put a flower on my head. But since I didn't have any hair, it could only be wrapped directly around my chin. You have to say, it's quite cute. When Zhou Qimiao saw me, she opened her arms with great delight and hugged me, then kissed my little face. Thanks to our little lucky star, I didn't end up with a scumbag and can live such a peaceful life, Zhou Qimiao said with a smile, her eyes welling up with tears as she spoke. Beautiful mom hurriedly stepped forward to hug her, intending to comfort her with a few words, but for some reason, her own eyes also turned red. The mother and daughter hugged and cried for a while, and Zhou Qiwei and handsome dad coaxed them for a long time before they managed to calm them down. A mother always has to cry when her daughter gets married. I'm reluctant to let her go. Handsome dad frowned. I'm also reluctant. I keep saying Miao Miao is still young. She hasn't even graduated from graduate school. Why get married? What's wrong with waiting a few more years? Chu Zhihan had just walked in when he heard his father-in-law's lament, and he immediately stepped forward with an apologetic smile. I'm the one who's anxious. Handsome dad gave him an annoyed look. If you ever dare to bully our Miao Miao in the future, her mom, her brother, and her sister won't let you off. Understand, Dad? Don't worry. I will treat Miao Miao well. Chu Zhihan laughed. Soon the ceremony began. Handsome dad led Zhou Qimiao down the aisle and personally handed her over to Chu Zihin's hand. I saw his reluctance. If I get married in the future, how sad will handsome dad be? So I need to find someone especially handsome. Someone handsome dad will like at first sight, I thought happily in my heart. The ceremony was successfully completed, and Chu Zhihan couldn't wait to take Zhou Qimiao abroad for their honeymoon. My parents and older brother were left at home. My older brother is still a single dog. I don't know if it's because of Wei Xiaoxiao, but he has completely lost interest in women now, to the point that beautiful mom is worried that he might be stimulated by this incident and start liking men. Zhou Qiwei repeatedly assured her that he would definitely bring her a daughter-in-law, and then he ran away. Our family is happily living our little life. I slowly grew up, and my eldest sister also gave birth to her first child. Zhou Qiwei finally had a girl he liked, and when he brought her home to meet his mom smiled so hard her eyes curved into crescents. Later, when I was in junior high, I received my first love letter, which was accidentally seen by handsome dad and Zhou Qiwei. The two of them stormed into the school, and after that, no one in the entire junior high dared to write me a love letter. Sure enough, a daughter's love life is nipped in the bud by her own father. Later, I went to high school and then college. My life was rich and happy, my heart full and warm. I met my true love when I graduated from college. My parents told me when I was 18 that they could hear my thoughts when I was very young, and that my thoughts helped them avoid all the hardships. I am very grateful, and even if people can hear my thoughts, I don't mind at all, because they are my family. I love them, and being able to avoid all dangers with them is the happiest thing in my life. As for those who wanted to hurt us, Wei Xiaoxiao and Gu Yanting were released from prison a few years later. After their release, they returned to the county town and never stayed in our city again. Dong Qingqing also left, coming to my beautiful mom to apologize solemnly before leaving. She said she thought a lot in prison and finally realized that beautiful mom was trying to help her by letting her leave that family. It was just that she had been stubborn for many years, and suddenly realizing the truth, she had no face to stay any longer. I heard that Gu Yanting is Dong Qingqing's son, so the relationship is quite complicated. But these people and things have nothing to do with us. Our whole family will work hard to live our own happy lives.